sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
You always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of the story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Stay with us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story by calling our local numbers 876-922-4112-5. You can listen to Both Sides of the Story on the Power 106 FM app via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631-359-8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch Both Sides of the Story live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106@live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876-365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to Both Sides of the Story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
We have neither summer nor winter, neither autumn nor spring. We have instead the days when the gold sun shines on the lush green cane fields magnificently. The days when the rain beats like bullet on the roofs and there's no sound but the swish of water in the gullies and trees struggling in the high Jamaica winds. Also, there are the days when leaves fade from off guango trees and the reaped cane fields lie bare and fallow to the sun. But best of all, there are the days when the mango and the logwood blossom, when the bushes are full of the sound of bees and the scent of honey, when the tall grass sways and shivers to the slightest breath of air, when the buttercups have paved the earth with yellow stars, and beauty comes suddenly, and the rains have gone.
We don't have no snow, we don't have no sleigh, but fun we do have at Christmas Day. So run and come to see young son, it's Christmas Day. Snow and sleep you'll never meet at Christmas Day. The beaches are nice, much nicer than ice. The rum is still fine, and so is the wine. So run and come to see your son. It's Christmas Day. Snow and sleep you'll never meet at Christmas Day. So come one and all, and let's have a ball. Jamaicans, you see, at Christmas love spree. So run and come to to see young sun. It's Christmas Day. No one sleep, you'll never meet at Christmas Day. Run and come to see young sun. It's Christmas Day. No one sleep, you'll never meet at Christmas Day.
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the fifth day of the 12th and final month of 2023, the International Year of Millets, those cereals grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. The 2023 North Atlantic hurricane season is over, but we still need to be mindful of unstable weather in this month of December. According to the National Meteorological Service, there's a trough across Jamaica, and remember the significance of that. Once there is a trough, there's an indication there is some amount of unstable weather, and therefore we need to pay attention. So the North Atlantic, the 2023 North Atlantic hurricane season is over, but we still need to be mindful of unstable weather in this month of December. According to the National Meteorological Service, there's a trough across Jamaica. The trough is expected to remain across Jamaica until Thursday, when a cold front enters the Central Caribbean. This afternoon into evening, expect partly cloudy and cool conditions, especially across northern parishes. Tonight will be mainly fair. Wednesday, that's tomorrow, will be mostly sunny in the morning with cloudy and cool conditions, especially across northern parishes. And Thursday, look for isolated showers and possible thunderstorms, mainly across northeastern parishes. Partly cloudy elsewhere, and Friday morning we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly across northeastern parishes. Widely scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms across sections of southern parishes. Elsewhere in the region, there's a cold front across the Gulf of Mexico. It's Disabilities Awareness Week here in Jamaica. It's Discovery Day in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The King's birthday is being celebrated in Thailand. It's Sinterklaas in the Netherlands, Day of the Ninja in the USA, and volunteers around the world are marking International Volunteers Day. It's World Soil Day. Hoy es martes, el 5 de diciembre 2023, y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi le 5 décembre 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 5th of December, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
It's Christmas Day. No one sleep. You'll never meet at Christmas Day.
We started out this afternoon with the poetry of the great Jamaican poet. And that's, of course, the one and only H.D. Carberry. As I recall it, I don't think he was born in Jamaica. I think he was born in the UK. Just double check that. So H.D. Carberry provided us with a poem this afternoon. And that most famous Jamaican poem, Nature, by H.D. Carberry. And we paired that with the unmistakable voice of the late Neville Willoughby. And together we have the combination that we have to have this afternoon here on Both Sides of the Story. How about that? And so we welcome those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. And of course, downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. There's more after the break.
At Christmas not free.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Hardware shoppers, Stewart's Hardware is at it again. On Monday, December 11th and Tuesday, December 12th, enjoy 2 whole days of super savings, huge discounts, and more. Plus, you don't have to come in store. Simply request a quote from our website at stewartshardware.com or send us a message on WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram with your order, name, and contact information, and we will process your order during the sale days. We're always giving the best value. At Stewart's Hardware, the customer comes first.
Hello there. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, this year celebrates Disabilities Awareness under the theme Inclusion in Action, Building Accessible Communities from December 3 to 8, 2023. Come and join the celebrations as you play your part to ensure persons with disabilities are included equally and equitably in society. Let's work together to build inclusive communities for all. A message from the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities.
No one sleep, will ever be at Christmas Day.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world as we take your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, as we said. And the regular call-in lines, 876-922-4112-5. How are things with you and yours? How's the Christmas shopping going? Assuming you have some money to spend. And if you don't, we trust that you will find the means by which to at least enjoy that which you're able to at home with family, friends, etc. But in all of this, though, just remember to be careful as you move across the country. Let's remember to be very careful. And those of us, as we always say, if we have to go to the beach, please. And we know we are not able to manage the water. Let's just stay on the shore and let the water come to us. How about that? That can be just as much fun as the other way around. It's sad that we have heard of a drowning a couple of days ago. Please take it easy and be careful. It's good to have fun, nothing wrong with that, but we don't want to lose sight of the best practices, some of the things that we need to know and to do. All right, so let's roll on. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Bunty, otherwise known as Mac, has sent us a couple of pictures and a voice note. We'll see what we can make of those. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. June Mills here. Happy Tuesday to you and your entire listenership. Anyway, have a blessed, wonderful, and safe afternoon, both you and your listeners, as well, especially to MJ over there in New York. Good afternoon, MJ in New York. Hope you'll continue to be safe as well. Hope it's not too cold for you in New York. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. You know, whenever I hear the government talk about road safety, I ask the question, road safety for who? Sometimes I see the police give motorists tickets for having one splash guard on the back. On Hagley Park Road in front of Budget Supply, there's a drain that runs across the road, and a section of the drain, a section of the drain cover is literally off, and the slot for off the slot for several weeks now, and no one has even attempted to fix it. This is in the middle of the road. If you drop in it, you have to call the ambulance and the wrecker same time. I don't know that. It's okay. I I haven't passed by that area in a while, so I'm not sure. Okay. All right. So you have shared it, Horace, otherwise known as Spider, and I'm getting confirmation from right here in studio that that is in fact so. We trust the authorities are paying attention, especially as they try to woo the members of the electorate with local government election to come. Now would be a good time. Right. Thank you for those messages. Let's hop across to where are we now? This is all right. Let's on YouTube. Asha Ash says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asha Ash in London, England." And over on Facebook Live, we have quite a bit. Let's see, where do we start? Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Ricardo always has a few things to say. Norman Hines says, "Good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners." Good afternoon, Norman Hines. Thank you for your messages as well. Paulette Richards says, "Have a wonderful day." Same to you, Paulette Richards. Wonderful day to you too. Olga Hollingshead says, "Good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and all your diaspora family and friends. Have a wonderful day and stay safe." We'll do our best. Thank you, Olga Hollingshead. Velta Wilson says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners." Same to you, Velta Wilson. Mikey Morris says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm." Good afternoon, Mikey Morris. How are you doing? He asks. I'm fine, thanks, Mikey Morris. And Mikey Morris goes on to say, "And good afternoon to you and your staff of Power 106 FM radio. Thank you. Welcome to both sides of the story," says Mikey Morris. Thank you very much for your messages. Keep them coming as we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls on 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see. Let's go down the line here and bring up some more information. Here we go. All right, so let's continue and share with you a couple of useful information, bits of useful information and historical data. Let's see. The first American bicycle school opened in New York City on this day in 1868. the bicycle was not always referred to as by that name as bicycle. They what they did was for this first American bicycle school opened in New York City, they announced the courses for what they call Velocipede, VELOCIPED, Velocipede riding. I guess that was their way of making a distinction between one and the other back then. The animator and creator of an entertainment empire, Walt Disney, was born on this day in 1901. The German physicist Albert Einstein was granted a visa on this day in 1932, making it possible for him to travel to the United States. The Honorable Lascelles Chin, O.J., was born at Bogwalk in St. Catherine on this day in 1937. Lascelles Chin was the son of Leonard Chin, businessman, and Florence Yee. The Jamaica Bible Institute, a secondary school on Arden Road in St. Andrew, was renamed the Arden High School on this day in 1940. 1942, President General of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, Alexander Bustamante, told the audience at the annual general meeting of the union at the Conversorium on Duke Street in Kingston that, and this is what he said, "I will be the first prime minister of this country if it should get self-government. You will put me there, and I will be the first prime minister at King's House." So said, so done. That was 1942, and it came into being in 1962. Let's go to 1945. A women's hostel and housecraft training center at Elizabeth House, 4 Rosedale Avenue in Kingston, was declared open by Reverend J.C. Swaby. The hostel provided decent board and lodging for 18 young women whose homes are far away at rates lower than they would ordinarily be called upon to pay. 14 girls, one selected for each parish by the Women's League, would be given training in housecraft in the institution to form a sort of elite of domestics in Kingston and St. Andrew. 1945 in Jamaica, 3 new perfumes, Illusion, Caribbean Nights, and Couscous, were on sale for the first time at the Enterprise, Time Store, Dadlani's, and Sasso's, 3 of the main stores on King Street in Kingston. The perfumes were the latest offered to the public by Madame Rose Leon, cosmetologist, and has been blended in her cosmetic factory. In announcing these new perfumes, Madame Rose Leon said that during her trip the previous summer to the USA, she visited a number of laboratories and was able to purchase the equipment and other materials to manufacture these new products.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session, hour 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Poor roads a major concern? What about those drains that are in need of repair or cleaning? Who's responsible for repairing my road, and when will it be done? Join us this and every Tuesday morning at 8 during Morning Agenda as we travel on our roads with the National Works Agency and get answers to these and other concerns. You're welcome to visit their website at www.nwa.gov.jm. See the tender notices link for projects to be undertaken. You may also call them toll-free at 1-888-429-5NWA. That's 1-888-429-5692, or follow them on Twitter at NWA_JA and Facebook at www.facebook.com/NWA Jamaica. The National Works Agency, developing safe, reliable, and quality roads. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues, and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
So run and come to see and sun. It's Christmas Day. No one sleep, you'll never meet at Christmas Day. Run and come.
Touching from the Bronx, Mr. Malcolm, says Mikey Morris. Welcome, Mikey Morris. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a great Tuesday afternoon. Same to you, Cherry Henry. Chris Banton says, big up yourself, Sir Malcolm. Happy Earth Strong to former PM, Honorable Bruce Golding. Indeed, we join you in conveying birthday greetings to Mr. Golding. Remember, he decided not to accept the title of Honorable. So he would be Mr. Golding, just Mr. Golding. And so today is his birthday, apparently. Happy birthday, Mr. Golding. And who else is there? Errol says, good day, Dervan and the listening world. May peace be on earth for the season. Oh, yes. We really need that. Really and truly need peace all over the world. All over the world. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. One of the Beatitudes. Andre Brown on YouTube says, hi, Mr. Dervan. Can you please touch on the topic Judge Sykes spoke about, where he stated harsh punishment is not necessarily a deterrent to the prevention of crime? Well, it is exactly what it says. It is exactly what he is saying, that there is a tendency, if there is a spike in criminal activity, for us to rush towards draconian measures, as opposed to trying other strategies and applying other techniques, depending on the nature of the situation, because one size is not going to fit all. But it is a fact that harsh or harsher punishment is not necessarily a deterrent to the prevention for the prevention of crime. Because there are some of us who are hardened and have absolutely no fear and no care. And the acts of criminality or criminal behavior continue. So he does have a point. It can't just be to rush for the harsher punishment and thinking that that will solve the problem. In fact, in some instances, that also serves to fuel the fire in a kind of a twisted way. Watch me and them think I saw it a go, etc. what we have to try and do is to lessen the level of hostility in our society. Let's see if we can nurture an environment of harmony instead of animosity. That's something we need to work on. And so that ultimately, as that song that we used to sing as children, the more we are together, the happier we shall be. Yeah, it seems quite simple, but in terms of correctional action for those of us who are out of line, it's not always going to be the draconian measures. There are times when other solutions can suffice. But that debate will rage on, and people are entitled to their opinion. So, all the best. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Chris is saying, no, Mr. Malcolm, the title he refused back then was Most Honorable. Yes, I'll double check that. I know Most Honorable, yes, he declined that particular honor, but he also declined. The other thing he declined was to have his salary. What was the percentage? 2/3 of his salary. 2/3 of the sitting prime minister's salary in retirement, and that was the other area. So, yeah, the extent to which that has gone, we could maybe do a check on that to confirm. In the meantime, let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon, Sean.
Hi, teacher. How you doing, my brother?
I am fine, thanks. I'm just curious to find out why you always calling this boring program.
I'm just feeling you out.
Oh.
Why do you say that?
What's that? Because that's what you said. You said it the last time. Not in the same manner. But you did say it.
No.
Yes, you did.
I'm just feeling you.
Yeah,
I'm just feeling you.
But why would you want to hail up this boring person? Why would you want to hail up this boring person?
I'm just hearing you. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But I'm not gonna argue and fight with you guys. I'm not doing that. Never.
Me worse.
That, okay. So how you? What?
I said me worse.
Yeah. So how is your day going so far?
All is well, thank God.
Yeah. I thought you were troubling me a while ago.
No, I have no reason to do any such thing.
Yeah, okay. So go. Christmas is coming up, but to me it don't feel like Christmas for me. It seems so boring. Christmas don't nice like one time.
Why do you say that? What makes Christmas nice or not nice?
Because some people would say it's not nice like one time and things change.
What would make it nice? What's the essential ingredient in Christmas that makes it nice?
Let me tell you something. You know what nice about Christmas when you get presents and gifts and you eat Christmas.
Oh, that sounds like you do most of the getting in terms of and not necessarily the giving.
Okay. I used to excited about it, but not anymore. But as I become an adult, I don't do those things anymore.
Oh. What do you do as an adult for Christmas? What just eat food and accept and receive gifts?
I talk with my family members.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. And I like to listen to Christmas carols and Christmas songs.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah. Okay. Teacher, let her ask you a question. What was Christmas like growing up as a child?
Fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we were very involved. So we were always changing the curtains or the drapes, turning around, shifting around the furniture in the house to give a sense of newness and freshness, and taking the cutlery and the other fanciful what do you call the other fanciful items, dishes, etc. Make sure everything is clean, and the entire house gets a thorough cleaning. And if we have to paint, we paint as well, and decorate the house and all of that. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, what I like about Christmas, I like to watch Christmas movies. Christmas movies like the Home Alones and those type of things, and very nice Christmas movies.
Well, I was watching it with the family a couple nights ago, actually. Same Home Alone.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm just calling you to hail you up.
All right.
Good to talk with you guys. You are a very bright teacher.
Thank you very much for your kind sentiments.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Nordia Bird, sorry we missed your call just now. Please call us back. Right, this WhatsApp call here. Nordia Bird from Manchester. It's been quite a while. Good afternoon to you, Nordia Bird. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Malcolm. Good day.
Good day to you and yours.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm. There's some silent listeners. You have some very silent listeners.
Sounds like you're one of them.
Nothing.
Are you one of them?
Yes, I'm one of them, and I know people who are too, because they live in their house and they play your station and they don't ever call.
That is true. Dr. Leakim Samaj did a survey some years ago and found that it's just a small number of people who actually pick up the phone and call talk shows. Small number.
Yes.
Sorry, one moment, please. One moment.
Yes.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Contractors, developers, and small builders, coast-to-coast quarries, coast-to-coast concrete, and coast-to-coast enterprise. Take this opportunity to say thanks for your business throughout the year. Join us as Coast-to-Coast Quarries celebrates this Christmas by offering 10% discount on all size stones from November 15, 2023 to January 15, 2024. We promise to continue to provide quality products in the coming year. Coast-to-Coast Group of Companies. We deliver.
Hello there. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, this year celebrates Disabilities Awareness under the theme Inclusion in Action, Building Accessible Communities from December 3 to 8, 2023. Come and join the celebrations as you play your part to ensure persons with disabilities are included equally and equitably in society. Let's work together to build inclusive communities for all. A message from the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities.
Son, it's Christmas Day. No one sleep, you'll never meet at Christmas Day.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Horror 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see who else is online with us. All right, we have cleared those messages already. So let's go to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Let's go back, actually, to Nordia Bird. Thank you very much for holding the line. You were saying.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm. Welcome back. Mr. Malcolm, I have a few things storing up, but I won't let out everything.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Right. First, I really look and see this government came in and they rule under a pandemic. And I really hear people cuss them out and stuff like that. I don't say they are perfect, but it's a pandemic government. He probably said there was going to be prosperity, but the way the pandemic hit, prosperity couldn't even be prosperous, as you would put it. So then, and what I see with this government, one thing I look at and I said, this government take the sweetness out of sugar. Remember me tell you. They may say not do good, but him take the sweetness out of sugar.
What?
Plus, this government, when it just came in, I saw the inspector came around to the restaurant and they inspect the restaurant, and there were restaurants that was locked down for 2-3 weeks for cleaning because they set out to do something. But guess what? Even the dengue thing, I saw the workers came about in our area, and the workers came and they do their job and they come and look in our jobs and whatever. But there are people who chase them away, and then when the people chase them away now, they say the government not do nothing.
No,
so then I have these things storing up and then Mr. Malcolm, when I look again and I said there are some things this government is doing that people think say them now do nothing.
What are the things? What are the things that you would like to highlight that you see the government doing?
All right. Let me say, I live in this district, and there's a road here. Me born and grow here from my idea and my knee. I'm in my 50s, Mr. Malcolm. And let me tell you something. That road out by our basic school there, millions of people pass through that basic school. Thousands, not millions, thousands. And that road never fixed, and they just fix it where they about in November somewhere there.
I think
road, it's
is
so
that
pretty
is
now.
that the road in front of the hospital?
Where I am, I'm in New Braun.
Oh.
That's in the Newport Kruskies area.
Yeah, we did see some work going on, but not that area. The
That's
area in
one.
front of the hospital, and that work was being done while we were covering the Three Angels Pharmacy event.
Okay, okay. But that's where I am is out of Mandeville still. But I'm saying I see some unusual thing that hasn't been done for umpteen years and it's being done now. But what I'm saying they shouldn't be cursing them like that because they are working. Yeah, I understand. But anyhow.
What about those who argue? What about those who might? What about those who might argue that it's not enough? They need to do more. They're not doing enough.
Oh, that's the thing. Yes, they're probably saying it's not enough. But oh my gosh, you see the government take the people through a rough pandemic. This pandemic wasn't easy, you know. And if anybody said this pandemic was easy, they take the people through in the sense that it's like Moses taking the children across the Red Sea. But they curse him very much, you know, they curse him hell out.
Yeah, well, it comes with the territory, apparently. Once you occupy any such position, you're going to have to face up to the criticisms and the concerns and the issues.
I agree. Mm-hmm. But I'm still saying, man, you're not gonna find everybody give him credit. No. You understand? Not gonna find everybody giving credit, but yes, Mr. Malcolm, there are one and two more things I want to say, but I am a productive person, you know, so I can't stay on the phone long.
Okay.
You understand? Right now, I'm probably going leaving the radio, go all the way to my field. Yes. And come back and stuff like that. So it was nice talking to you, and I have more story up. But when I come again.
All right, no problem.
I did plan to call you before the year end, you know. Right. I have a lot of little stuff. Even the government helped my brother. My brother has two sick brothers, you know, and the government helped one of them to get on the path thing. A lot of little stuff for me. Me never say me. You do for others too.
But isn't that what is expected of the state when it comes on to
yes,
healthcare?
But all this time he was there, he couldn't get much help, but there's a counselor who helped him so good. And the counselor put me onto the ministry and get it done so fast. So, you see what happened? Me now go rejoice, say if I do good. And I don't want nobody to bash me. I'm just saying what I see and what I see something is doing. I'm not gonna, because God works mysteriously and man has to work their own way. You understand? So then, they can't keep bashing him and I can't stop them from doing it. But I wish they would even pray for him. Yes, Mr. Malcolm. That's my little intake.
All right. Thank you very much for the call. All the best.
Yes, sir. Okay. Have a blessed day and a nice Christmas when it comes. Thank you.
Same to you and yours. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346. Let's clear these messages now. We're still not able to clear this one from Bunty because we haven't been able to listen to the recording. Barbara Horton says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Hoping you and your family will have a wonderful and safe holiday when it comes. Mr. Malcolm, here sewing up a storm at this time of the year. Everyone wants to buy a sheet set or a pair of pillows. I am so thankful. God bless. Take care. We're happy for you, Barbara Horton, and long may you continue to enjoy the patronage of those who have been responding to your items. Thank you very much. And this one says, Dervan, until we in Jamaica are willing to put police, politicians, private sector men, and pastors in prison, Jamaica will never prosper. And that's coming from a listener who is not using a name right now, but a number. This one says, good afternoon, Jones from Portmore. For us to be thinking of more prison time is evidence that as a nation, we have been failing to prevent our youths from seeing crime and violence as a way out. And I still haven't got in contact with Michael from Blue Mountain, who was complaining about the price per box of his coffee. Michael, if you're out there listening, give us a call, please. 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Here's another one. Someone has taken a picture. What is this? A picture of an area. Let's see what's the situation there. Mr. Malcolm, I've reported to Duhaney Park Police Inspector Fabian Powell and NSWMA about vehicles being dumped at my house, 60 Milton Avenue, Duhaney Park, Kingston 20, Jamaica, West Indies, and now person at 39 Milton Avenue. Persons at 39 Milton Avenue have dumped their building materials and waste in my house, preventing the gardener from cleaning the yard. Where's Audley Gordon and justice? Audley Gordon of the NSWMA, a complaint here from a resident of Duhaney Park in Kingston 20 and 39 Milton Avenue being used as a dump, which shouldn't be. And he or she is publicizing that situation and asking, where's Audley Gordon and justice? To the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
welcome. You're the man with the bad line.
Yeah, but it's not bad today.
You think so?
I don't know if it's bad.
Okay.
I don't find it bad today.
Yeah, it's very low, and we're hearing that usual humming sound. But let's try with you and see if we can tolerate it for the time being. Go ahead, please.
Probably the line, those lines on it like Jesse Blake. When Jesse Blake is on the program, because Jesse Blake is an animal, I know that most people call him and they don't drink to you, but they have you in a different.
No, but the audio is bad though. Really and truly. The audio is bad.
Let me try another.
Please do. Please do. Hello. All right, I guess he's going to call us back. But the key thing is people want to hear when they listen. When they listen, it's because they want to hear what is happening. Now, when that doesn't happen, when we're not able to hear what is happening, when we're not able to hear the caller, it then becomes frustrating and in some instances just untenable because the quality of the line is bad. Let's see if there's a change. Hello? Oh, let's take the break and come back. One moment.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Jesus, Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest-running religious call-in program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world.
And I just want to say, I'm standing in the presence of God and I'm covered under the blood of Jesus.
The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live and declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
You'll never be at Christmas Day.
Thanks for holding. Go ahead, please.
All
Much better. I mean, why have you subjected us to all that went on before and you have such a clean line? I don't understand.
No, because you see, I use that Apple and I don't know, sometimes it just gives me that problem.
Okay. Don't worry about it, man. We have you now.
I
Good.
won't worry.
Go ahead, please.
You remember when you were young, you remember they have a woodwork place, a little woodwork shop and Oakland Avenue.
I think so, yes. I think I remember that.
Yeah, man. And I used to, as a schoolboy, I used to work here at Christmas. Christmas was nice, because Christmas, then everybody wants new furniture. You have to work day and night.
Yes.
To get the thing finished. And then you have a lot of money to go downtown and you just go to the store like Azan and not Azan. Those are the top store on King Street.
What were the top stores on King Street?
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember some of those top stores on King Street at the time. And then you go there and you try to buy special clothes for Christmas. But I still enjoy it because sometimes people families still get together,
Yes.
And I always find people getting together, family,
Mm-hmm.
and people from abroad coming for Christmas. I still enjoy Christmas.
Yeah.
But as a youngster, Christmas balloon and clappers. And I would suggest that nobody fire no clappers.
No, I think clappers are illegal. I think it's been that way for a while.
I agree with that because when sometimes those big thunderbolts don't know them different from.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that to have it really cut down.
Yeah.
But I still think that during even now though, when New Year, Christmas Eve, going to limited and those days, still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And we just hope that people cut down some of the violence.
We would hope all of it, not just some.
All of it. Well,
it's going to take a while, but
it's going to take a while. But I have never. I am a practical man, and I never do zero. That because why do we have to be in this place? I don't know how to do it.
And it's all about what is inside an individual's mind, what's inside an individual's head, and when that individual decides to explode one way or another.
And What I can say to balance making a lot of money now to balance. Balance. When I read carrying that I'm going to come from my here at the team that the next month I've heard I keep to look for TV balance. I don't know balance, but I always yeah. Every now and then I'm at the I never get around to go visit this workshop. But what, I think Christmas always get time. As the lady said, just make that and so on and so forth. They said, honestly, I don't know how your young people at the time with this boy. How can he be born at a young age? He's getting 23 years old and that boy already. It's not a nice life for you. I don't want the next day. You have to hear him up. Cheer up, he's a little scary now. How you find? That's the other day I was talking and I broke that story and you because we were talking about the quiz down that everybody is advocating for.
Which is finally going to be fixed now. So I hear.
I will I tell him that he said no, he doesn't know. I said your company or partner is not that bad. He said they never tell him. So I broke the night. I also don't harassing for this. But I was having a night. We have a night about, that year of Jamaica, where the yellow yam. And I know this year, Christmas is not going to be what it is because we don't have much sweet potato. And people love sweet potato for now Christmas. Everybody do some farmer baking and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a lot of because I call it something so that I know a sweet potato. And they don't have much sweet potato this year.
Oh.
Probably it's expensive in the market.
Mm.
But we are still going on, and the politics is very hard for everybody starts trying to find their coat, and so on and so forth. And both parties, we are not all the time. And I hear the Prime Minister gone to diaspora. I wonder if he is the key to the house like that in Washington. I really hard to follow. Because if I am going to Washington, I would have to come up and forward. I have to tell everybody I tell where to go. But on a more
is it the Prime Minister or the Agriculture Minister who will be traveling?
It's the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is supposed to go to Washington.
Okay.
He's off the island now.
Oh.
From my source, never wrong. my source, especially my diaspora source, never wrong.
I hear you.
I tell you, they are more interested in Jamaica than some of us that live here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. They say that in Pennsylvania, they really in Pennsylvania that they are going to
the pen relays, yes.
Yeah. Have you ever been don't you been there sometime?
Yes, quite a few times.
They introducing a to relieve adults because I think they are doing it. They say they are doing it because of the Olympics.
Oh.
So, like people like Kelly and so on.
Yes, it's something they've done before, actually. Once it's an Olympic year or any other significant track event outside of that, they normally throw in one or two of those.
And we have a reputation. The Jamaican school have a reputation.
Oh yes.
And I have.
It can't keep without Jamaica and Jamaicans.
I know that my niece, that is school, my friend.
Which one is that, Veer?
Yeah, man, the one that they have there. Yeah, man, but and the funny thing about it, when she was here, she left when she was about 12-year-old, and they wanted her to attend St. Diego because she was bright and because she was an athlete. And it's amazing that when she went to the US, she never do any athletics at all. But she concentrated on her lesson. She was one of her top students.
No.
But she never. And I find that with a lot of Jamaicans, young Jamaicans, they when they are here as youngsters, they are good at athletics, and when they go to the United States, for some reason or not, they never get into athletics.
Not all of them, obviously, but there are all kinds of circumstances that present themselves in these various settings, and it's just a function of how those who are impacted respond to these situations, which will determine how far they go, how far they end up, and how much they achieve.
You know what I noticed that most Jamaican abroad still do play domino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have some family members overseas where that's mostly what they play with their neighbors, actually. Dominoes. And I have a brother who is a big domino fan as well. Whenever he travels and with to check up on friends and family, it's always.
I don't think about it. Yes, I went down there and get them fans for the program. They gave us money and gave us little drinks. You know, that time Portmore was just coming. I don't know if you know about this. Waterford, because Waterford have about 3 domino or 4 domino club at the time. And I put together a competition over Portmore because we did have the Guinness competition too. And you know, so I kind of promote the domino. I went up to JBC and get the TV to come and cover the final of the domino. Domino is a nice competition, it's a nice day.
Indeed it is. We're going to have to leave it there for now, though, TT.
You take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
On Christmas Day. The beaches are nice, much nicer than ice. The rum is still.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
If you know one pop down and enke, you feel one mosquito and run with dengue. So don't make water circle in open container. For them to breathe out under the danger. Usher them out, run them away. Tap them with the zapper and down them with spray. Use mosquito net and mosquito screen. Protect your household and make them come in. If you know one pop down and enke, if
Devon mosquito and run with them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
At Christmas Day.
Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106. So yes, indeed, TT, you're perfectly right. I was just trying to remember where along the road the workshop was located. And it's at the top, right as you make that corner. That yeah, that's where it is. Thank you. A couple more messages before we take another call. Driver in America. Oh, wow. He has a lot to say here. Let's see what he's saying. He says, greetings, Brother Dervan. As you treat us to the voice of national treasure, Brother Neville Willoughby, I am reminded of the impact his sense of fashion and his overall presentation of himself in the media had on that which I aspired to attain as a little St. Elizabethan cowboy. Regarding the fife player on this Christmas JA, that is as great as I have ever heard said instrument played in all the different genres of international fife music, which I have listened to in my life. I would like to know if the teaching and playing of such instruments in Jamaican folk music is being passed on for posterity. I would imagine so. We still have mentor bands, don't we? We still have mentor bands. Yeah. So I would imagine the fife is still being played. But we could follow up on that. And for TT, Driver in America says Times Store is one. Times Store, one of those for shopping, usually at this time of the year. All right, and Calvin Lake says, Merry Christmas when it comes, Dervan. Thank you very much, Calvin Lake. He says, and don't forget putting the stockings up on the outside, waiting for the presents. Good luck. No. Let's see. All right, let's go to this call now on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. The caller who goes by the moniker.
That I walk into the Spanish Town Cemetery also. I love that, and the rest cemeteries look really, really, really good pertaining to Maple, and this just from Spanish Town to, as I say, Maple Cemetery. I commend him for that work that they've been doing there for but I hope on only the front part, the cleaning up. And my second agenda, I would like to know how much you fare on a coaster bus from Spanish Town to Kingston.
I am so sorry, and someone else should be able to tell us. I haven't been on a bus in a little while.
Where I asked some people charged from down Old Harbour Road to Kingston 200, and some from Spanish Town to Ingtown 180. So that's why I try to figure out which is the right fare.
Your best bet is to find out from the what you call it, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC. They should have information on that. They would have information on that, I believe.
My second point, Mr. Malcolm, as a patient, human rights and the advocates of talking about Russia, Haiti, and these people who are coming into Jamaica. But the system, what I'm saying,
We have so much problem here in Jamaica, especially with the lockup, the prison, and all of these things. And you have the prisoners lockup. Those that lock up, especially at the police station, the majority of those people in the lockups have to sleep on the concrete. I'm not saying prison should be better roses, Mr. Malcolm. But most of the lockup, them people had to be sleeping on concrete. What are human rights? What they had them here for? Just criticize?
No, there's a group of individuals whose task it is to visit the lockups in Jamaica periodically in order to confirm the nature and state of the conditions under which remandees are being held.
Mr. Malcolm, I don't know, they're always talking about other people, other countries, and the problem that we had the same problem here. We must try to look after our home first before we can start going abroad. That's what I'm thinking, And the second point I want to bring to your attention, Mr. Malcolm, please, I would like you to call the Minister of Justice and the Prime Minister and some of those religious leaders. And why? You living in Kingston and you have to go by the court by certain circumstances. As they say, you might do something. Call it a thief a man board, put it that way. And you in Spanish Town. And they are saying you must leave your home from Spanish Town and live in Kingston for a period of time till the court try. Why is it so?
Sorry, I lost a bit of what you said. Come again?
I'm saying, Mr. Malcolm,
yes.
Yeah, I'm living in Spanish Town.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a problem with somebody then. I call it my neighbor.
Yes.
And it's in the court. And when you go to the court, they are telling you, you can't come back to Spanish Town only if you're going to come to court. You have to live in Kingston. Leave your home, your resident, and live in Kingston. Why?
Do you have a lawyer?
Mr. Malcolm, many people have lawyer, and that is the situation taking place in Jamaica.
Well, the lawyer is perhaps the only one who could.
Continue, Mr. Malcolm.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Right.
No, we're just getting an understanding that the idea is, depending on the nature of some of these cases, that they wouldn't want to have some certain people within that space, and it's a particular reason why they designate or insist on your operating from a different space as opposed to the very same one in which whatever happened.
Mr. Malcolm, the point I want to make, he's not a troublemaker, right? He's not a wrongdoer, but someone accuses you, right? And you have to leave your home from Spanish Town, live in Kingston, and you cannot come back in Spanish Town until when the case is over. And you left your home unprotected. People go there and take what they want to take. Who will look after your property?
Well, if you publicize it, people might go and take whatever they need to take.
And if they see in that area, they can lock you up, Mr. Malcolm. What kind of thing that?
Well, that is the law, and until it is changed, that is the law.
Mr. Malcolm, I know you're an educator. I don't have a PhD, but what I am saying, these are things that bring and cause more problem.
Which is why I asked you the question earlier on. Do you have a lawyer? Because that's what lawyers do. Lawyers look after the best interest of their clients. And if the court has made a decision, that you are not happy with, if the court has made a decision that you're unhappy with, have your lawyer test it in court, in addition to whatever other matter is being tested.
Mr. Malcolm, look here.
I'm not being cynical. Lawyers only thinking about getting their money. I heard a case the other day which part after the sentence the man, them said them well please what the sentence the man get after spending $1 million.
The court has to rule at some point or another, and there is a process that all of us have to abide by under the law.
I agree, Mr. Malcolm, I'm agreeing with that, but what I'm saying, putting you from Stone to live in a Kingston when a friend or a relative you might have there, make you uncomfortable.
Then take the matter to court. Take the matter to court. If you feel that strongly about it, take the matter to court. Try it in court. Test it in court.
Mr. Malcolm, them need to go back at the drawing board, for I think, you see me younger, they're telling you, Mr. Malcolm, let me tell you, most of these things are really criminal in the country, So a few unjust situations that take place. And we just sit down and laugh and think that we're helping the poor when politicians come down, they're helping poor, they're helping poor. Helping rich poor. They only fed in their own nest.
Well, there's a thing called the power of one. All it takes is one person to make a difference. One person.
Mr. Malcolm, God help us in this country, Jamaica. Have a blessed day.
All right. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. This message says 60 Milton Avenue, Duhaney Park, Kingston 20, Jamaica, West Indies. Mr. Malcolm, nobody requires a building permit anymore. So they dump their sand, gravel, garbage, old tiles, and vehicles. Appealing to Audley Gordon, NSWMA, to intervene and arrest using the anti-litter laws, illegal dumping, unlawful trespassing. Please, justice, if this was Beverly Hills, would this exist? That's a message on WhatsApp. 876-365-33.
You shall live, declare the words of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony. You're on God's side.
Safety Speaks during Both Sides of the Story is brought to you by Grenell's Driving School, Mona Dam, Mona Road, Kingston.
So run and come to see your son. It's Christmas Day.
It is Tuesday afternoon, just after 3:30, and that means time for Safety Speaks, our safety feature here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and joining us this afternoon for Safety Speaks is the Managing Director of Grenell's Driving School, Mr. Alfonso Grenell. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Good afternoon to you too, Dervan. I'm giving thanks. Just a little pain in my left shoulder. I think I forgot my age. And I did 60 push-ups this morning and 30. And my left shoulder is reminding me. You might sound young, you might look young, but you're not that young. So, in spite of everything, though, I'm giving thanks. And it's a pleasure to be on the program this afternoon.
Pleasure to have you here, Alfonso Grenell. Thank you so much for joining us. How have there been, based on your experience and expertise, as we have discussed defensive driving, etc., and related matters, Do you get a sense that enough attention is paid to the mindset of the individual, or is that hoping against hope that people will shake whatever mindset they have to replace it with an appropriate mindset, as opposed to just prodding along and whosoever will may come and whatever?
I think you're spot on in terms of we're open that things will just fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen in real life. You know, for the most part, people need to be guided, to be instructed, you know, to act appropriately. And I know that's where parenting, when I was younger, you know, my parents had to guide me a particular way because, you know, sometimes you do things as a child. Of course, we have adults now, so you can't discipline them in the way you'd have a child. However, you can use training and the appropriate type of training to guide people in the appropriate behavior. And also, what is important for adults as well is enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So in Jamaica, we have the police force, and therefore, the rules of the road should be enforced in a timely manner to ensure that people, once you guided them, you let them know that there are consequences if they don't behave appropriately.
Yes.
And what I'm seeing is that the instructional part of all of this is not being done on a regular basis. And that's where my major concern is. I don't think some of us even realize the importance of the mindset of people and what they will do and the risk they will take on the roadway. As we said, the roadway community.
Yes.
And as a result, we're having what we're having on our road where, you know, so far we have over 390 deaths. And we still have, you know, 20 plus days to go in the year.
Yeah, and it seems, I don't know, is it that people are people consciously saying what they say on the street, for example, anything or anything? I just wonder. I mean, a kind of an attitude that says, then if I saw it for God, then I saw it for God.
Yeah, I get that impression. So if you're gonna die by hanging, you won't drown.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of approach will not give the desired result that we want, because it means that people will not allow themselves to be guided, to be trained. There's a country that I know that their fatal rate is like, they're large in population than us, and they're like a quarter in terms of road fatalities. And one of the two major factors is training and enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like wearing helmets, they almost have a 100% adherence to the rule as it relates to riding with a helmet. We'll see police on the road riding on a bike with their helmet, and a bike is passing them, and nobody has on helmet, but nobody says anything to these drivers. And when they're hit down or when they collide and die, you know, we are surprised. You know, normally once you're riding a bike and you hit something, you're going to go headway first.
Yeah.
I can't talk now on the phone with Dervan Malcolm. Yeah, man. So we talk about that, Dervan.
Yes.
So that's where the big issue is. We don't have the required training, and we don't have the sufficient enforcement. And probably seemingly reason, nobody seems to care whether or not it's 100 people down our road or 1,000. Because if we really were, then we'd have done differently. Let me give you an example. I think I mentioned this to you last week when we spoke.
Yes.
Where in other jurisdictions, if you commit certain traffic offense, instead of they give you demerit points or tickets, they send you to participate in a defensive driving course. There are course referrals for that. There are people who have committed offense and their driver's license could be suspended. And instead of suspending their driver's license, they said, if you go and do a defensive driving course, come back with a certificate, we will not suspend your driver's license. That's the sort of thing that, and this is not rocket science. This is not new news, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
This is out there. This is information that all our decision makers in Jamaica, the police, the National Road Safety Council, the Island Tropical Authority, can access to. And if we want change, all we need to do is to take the requisite steps to get the change. But I'm asking the question sincerely, do we care about our Jamaicans that are dying on our road? And if we lament the number of people that die on our road, but what are we doing to change it? Just lamenting, that won't change it. It can't be just anything goes. People need to be trained. Approximately 90% of crashes has to do with the driver making a mistake. And in most cases, the driver don't know what is right. And therefore, he cannot, unless more buck up and do what's right. We don't do that in other fields of endeavor. We ensure that people are trained and act appropriately. And therefore, I'm calling on the relevant authority to do the same.
And we need to come to the recognition that it is necessary for one to be responsible in one's actions. It is the less order we have is the worse things become.
That's correct.
And so how do you convince citizens of this country to just do the right thing? Yes.
Dervan, it can be done. Again, what change behavior is information. You have to give people different information other than what they know, because that's how we're going to see the change. We send our children to school to get information so we can empower them to make informed decisions, and therefore they can seek out their career, and that's, I think, based on the information they have. A similar approach is needed for safety on our roads. We need to make sure at least we give these drivers the other side, both sides of the story. Interesting. We're talking about this. You have to give them the other side of information that they can now look and see, weigh the pros and cons, and decide, but my best option is to drive this way because I will benefit, my family will benefit, the people I work for will benefit, the country will benefit. But until we start to do that and engage them in that sort of manner, as we could have prayed for a miracle, Dervan, for things to change, it will not change because people will do what they know. You're not going to see the change unless you get that information in the brains of people. I'm not saying 100% will accept it, but give them a chance to learn, give them a chance to be informed. That's why we have road code book. And people can read it and know the rules of the road and conduct themselves accordingly.
Yes. And
so
sorry about
that.
I was going to say, the reality is the person who gets up and sits behind the wheel of the motor vehicle, so to speak, that person doesn't automatically become a different individual.
That's right.
Exactly who you are and how you comport yourself will come out in the way you operate on the road.
Indeed, perfectly said. And that you could use example of aggressive driving or road rage. It's a personality coming out, the type of person. You bad drive them, and because they're aggressive, they'll use their vehicle as a weapon. If they have knives or guns or whatever, and you're close enough, they will do you something. And that has happened across the globe, again, because of the personalities. And that's, you're perfectly right, Dervan. Sitting around a steering wheel, that's automatically going to make you a good driver, a safe driver. You need to be taught how to drive safely and how to react to certain stimuli that we have on the road. When somebody bad drives you, if you don't have the emotional intelligence, you could get yourself in trouble. And these are some of the things that we discuss when we do the difference in driving is really, really comprehensive. And that's why, like in the United States, I know for sure, once you have done a National Safety Council defensive driving course, you automatically get a discount on your insurance. Because why? They think the information that you get will bring about the required change. Therefore, you won't be involved in a crash. And therefore, we can almost give you the money before you start to give you back the no claim bonus before you start to drive. These are there. This is information that is not unique to Alfonso Grinnell or Grinnell's driving school. It's available. But what I've observed, and I know we'll probably soon be off, but what I've observed, Dervan, there's a lot of decisions that have been made in Jamaica as it relates to road safety.
All right, hold on. I'll give you an opportunity to pick up on that point right after this.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
We don't have no snow.
You're listening to Safety Speaks during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM with the managing director of Grinnell's Driving School, Alfonso Grinnell. Please continue with the point you were making just before we had to take the break, Mr. Grinnell.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, we need to engage the people, the practitioners, as it were. There was an engagement of mine at the beginning of the year to see how we could have the number of fatalities decrease for 2023. And I can tell you, most of the persons that were on that, if not all of them, were just academia. The people who teach people to drive, the people who do defensive driving, and I know for sure, weren't engaged. Weren't called and said, we're looking at a way to stem the flow of death on our road. Can you bring your level of expertise? Or for anybody else, for that matter, that who would have had the requisite training and can make a positive contribution. They weren't engaged. And then, so I'm not surprised in a lot of cases why nothing changes. Because if you're just using people who can, work out some average and talk about some figures and that sort of thing, we don't want any figures. We don't want any debt. We would love that those persons have nothing to figure out because we don't have the fatalities and the injuries caused from motor vehicle crash. And I've seen it. There's a program that is now being launched, and I can't call the name because I don't want to, make any negative, come out of it because it's seemingly a good program. But when I'm called to provide certain information, whoever going to run the program has not thought about the ramification of the program as it relates to driver safety and driver training. I'm just saying, how could these people don't have a clue? Because all I did was to ask some questions. I don't know that, Mr. Gunnar. I don't know that. But I said, but you guys are going to run the program. Oh, you don't know the basic thing. And I hope I'm not sounding disgruntled and everything like that. But I'm really concerned if we're going to see the requisite change that we want in our country as it relates to safety on our roads. The approach to safety training, to informing people, to the forward thinkers who are planning to see a change, we need to engage all the relevant persons. I'm not saying the academias are not important, but make sure the technocrats are also brought to the table, get all hands on deck. Therefore, we can come up with something that would benefit our country. Our country is not just some people's country. It's for all of us. All of us are affected when crashes happen and people die.
And for what it's worth, what I find encouraging is the work at, I think it's Glenmuir High School.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where they driver education program where even the PTA, purchase a car and give for the program.
Mm-hmm.
This is when everybody comes on board because all of us are important in this work, if you will.
Yes.
Really, really, all of us are important. And I wanted to say again, we at Grinnell want, this is not just about even making money. We want to make a difference for Jamaica. Too many lives are being lost. We've gone over one a day already because we are 390 plus.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have almost a month, to go.
Yes.
So that if we're not careful, we're going to go well over 400. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen because last year this time, we had over 444 people would have died up to this time last year. Let me give thanks that approximately 56 lives less have been killed on our road so far this year comparatively to last year. So we would have gained, saved some lives. And this is a trend I'm encouraging, for us to see. And this is one of the reasons, Dervan, why we started the crash-free program.
Yes.
I promise you I will be doing it to call the people who participate in the program and to see where they're at since they have done the program and how they have applied themselves and whether or not the program has helped them. But it's a team effort. Everybody must get involved to make this defensive driving, and saving lives on the road a part of their concern.
Yes. And just before, well,
Come on, go ahead, man. I don't mind talking.
We have a few more minutes, but just to from your perspective, Alfonso Grenell, in terms of the range, we hardly ever get to talk about the range of services that are provided at an organization such as Grenell's Driving School. Can you remind us of the various areas in which safety is ensured? Yes.
So we of course we're talking about road safety. We're going to be talking specifically to driver safety because there are a lot of things to be discussed on that. We also offer vehicle safety. We offer fleet management training. We offer accident review training. We can guide people to set up a committee to review their crashes. And the reason why we do that is because what we try, especially for companies, is not to find out whether or not the driver is not to be blamed, but whether or not the crash was preventable. Because when a vehicle is down, especially if you use it to earn money, it means that part of your business is down for a while. So we do that. We also look at environmental safety. We look at what we call heavy equipment training. So backhoe, excavator, bulldozer, front-end loader. We also do safety in terms of safety as a business. And this is where we try to educate companies in particular that when you're investing in your company, you cannot ignore safety because one of your most valuable, if not your most valuable resource, is the human resource. And if they're not safe, then it means that you're not putting first things first. So and we see that when a person is injured and cannot show up for work, but he's still being paid because he's on sick leave but not producing, it means that's a cost to the entity. And so we try, these are some of the areas that we discuss on a regular basis with different entities. We have a program that we call On the Road, On the Job International Safety Workshop, where we try to get all the relevant stakeholders together to look at safety from every angle, as it were. So that's just some of the things, and most of the things that we offer, Dervan, at Grinnell.
So before we wrap, Alfonso Grinnell, and thanks for sharing that information.
No worries.
With respect to the season we're in right now, and just as a means of trying to save as many lives as possible, what are some of the key points that you might want to share at this time to all those who are listening at home and abroad as far as safety at Christmas is concerned?
All right, Dervan, I'm not trying to be negative, but sometimes if we wait until now, it might be a little late. But there are some things that we can do.
Yes.
One of the things that I would like to emphasize is what we call the delayed acceleration, because everybody seems to be in a rush. The other day, there was a crash that happened at an intersection where the light changes. The guys going through the intersection was waiting on the red. Immediately the light changed, one driver moved out. But there was a driver that was running the red from the other side. And he hit the vehicle. The vehicle made a 360. Delayed acceleration because so many people are rushing to get to almost nowhere. Because this is the time when you have to exercise a lot of patience. The emotional balance is crucial now. Otherwise, you're going to take it out on the outside of one lane and drive down. You have to be patient. And patient means that you bear under circumstances that's not pleasant. In other words, you want to get to where you're going, but you have to tell yourself that I will get there because my home is not moving, the shopping center not moving. It might have taken me a little bit longer, but I will get there. And therefore, if it means that you have to listen to some different type of music, very relaxing, very soothing music to help you to stay focused on just going where you're going. If you have family members, it's a good time to rap, talk about different things. If you have your children, ask them some questions probably that you didn't get to ask because everybody's busy running around. Even time you could probably take it to school. You could say, what's your favorite subject, son or daughter? And why is that's your favorite subject? Oh, you have a favorite teacher? It's a get to know you session rather than seeming to break your neck to get to from one destination to another. So my thing is stay patient. Stay patient. Using the watch it strategy as you drive. What I mean by that, because people be boring and pushing because traffic is going slow. Once you see somebody waiting at an intersection to merge into the flow of traffic, just ask yourself, what is this person push out without due care? A matter of fact, let me let him out. I'll let her out. And once you do that, you cannot have a side swipe or a crash with that person unless you run into their back because you'd have allowed them to go ahead. So that's out of patience and willing to give other people a blind will definitely go a far way in making everybody safe. Another thing, just obey the rules of the road if you know them. So, if you're at a stop sign, just stop. Stop first. Don't move until you come to a stop. Check to make sure everybody is at stop as well, and then move accordingly. Another thing, just make sure, as you're on the road, that this might be a little bit more security, but ensure that you park in a fairly well-lit area. As you get to your vehicle, scan around you. Just make sure that you just don't walk blindly to your vehicle, open the door, you don't know what is happening around it. Don't become a soft target. Don't make people rob you. Look at your vehicle as well. See if the tire is, deflated a little bit, because people will crack the ear and they push something in the where you have the valve, put on but they dump cap for the ear to leak out slowly and then follow behind you. All of those other things, we have to be vigilant because I don't know, but this time of the year it seems like everybody's trying to get something without wanting to work for it.
That's very, very well put. In the meantime, we want to congratulate you and your team on the work that you continue to do, the service that you continue to give, the lives that you continue to impact by virtue of the various program offerings that you have at Grinnell's Driving School. And we're encouraged by the addition of this program as well, Safety Speaks, which serves as some kind of a buttress for building a more resilient structure when it comes to safety matters. So we really appreciate the work that you do, Mr. Grinnell, and we're
Thank you very much, Dervan. We're hoping that not far from now we probably can increase the program to at least half an hour where we can allow people to WhatsApp in their question and ask some questions. Because we want to touch some things like the new Road Traffic Act, looking at, driving school have to be registered and driving instructors have to be certified. Those are some of the things that we want to look at as soon as the new year comes, to provide additional information to persons.
Well, for what it's worth, it's already half an hour, but unofficial, it's not.
I want to tell you, thanks. I really appreciate Power and you, Dervan. I'm looking forward to next week's program where we can provide some more additional information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alfonso Grenell. All the best to you and your team.
Very same to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that's it for this week's edition of Safety Speaks with Alfonso Grenell, Managing Director of Grenell's Driving School. There's more after the break.
Safety Speaks during both sides of the story was brought to you by Grenell's Driving School, Mona Dam, Mona Road, Kingston.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Hello there. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, this year celebrates Disabilities Awareness under the theme Inclusion in Action, Building Accessible Communities from December 3 to 8, 2023. Come and join the celebration as you play your part to ensure persons with disabilities are included equally and equitably in society. Let's work together to build inclusive communities for all. A message from the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities.
The beaches are nice.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在几点了？4点01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Thank you for your messages as well. Maxine Charlton, good afternoon. Davina James says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, and your listening audience. Have a good afternoon. Same to you, Davina James. Violet White says, good afternoon, Dervan. Blessings to you and yours. Good afternoon to the listening audience. Blessings to you and yours indeed. Inez Ayona Campbell says, good afternoon, everyone. Chris Banton says, Mr. Malcolm, do you know you can pay $200,000 to get a driver's license at any one of the depots in Jamaica if you can't read and write? Well, if that has been your experience, Chris Banton, I would suggest that you report the matter to the police since you have that level of awareness. That's what I would suggest, so that the matter can be investigated. But thank you very much for sharing the information nonetheless. Let's go to the phone lines once again, this time to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for your patience. 31 minutes later.
Hi, Dervan.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Yeah, I didn't mind. Good program there with the Reynolds Driving School. And why don't we need it? We need safer driving in the road in Jamaica. So I think it's a good thing. I think the police need to go after the people who really do aggressive stuff. I think they tend to target. I didn't call for this, but I think they tend to target the softest driver. You're going like 5 miles over this, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers over the speed limit. They target these people. And the people who do aggressive stuff, they tend to just get away. Do you experience that, Dervan? Do you experience that I'm talking about?
Well, on the face of it, some people get away by virtue of, for example, running the red light. That has become second nature in Jamaica now. And there are some people who think it's stylish to run the red light. And I don't know what message they're trying to send by running the red light, but that is one area which has which too many motorists have been using the opportunity to breach the road rules, or the rules of the road. And some of it has resulted in fatalities by virtue of that kind of reckless behavior. So there is that, for sure, unfortunately. And then there are those who don't feel they should be waiting in the line of traffic. And it's not like they can press a button to fly over the traffic, but they still expect people to create space where none exists, to try and bring them in. Because,
I see taxi
sorry,
men,
go ahead.
I see taxi literally ride the sidewalk, run down the sidewalk, just to avoid the traffic. I've seen that many times in Mobile, and I was like, oh my God! It's just, to me, it was like a miracle. So did I get killed more than once? So these are the drivers to me they need to go after. I received 2 tickets in Jamaica. One, do you know when you leave the airport in Montego Bay, is a sign at the gas station used to be. I think the gas station, and they moved the gas station now. There's a sign that they said, do not enter. I didn't come to Jamaica for a little while, so I saw the sign. So, I thought maybe I'm going the wrong way, right? Mm-hmm. So I turned in the gas station to say, at least if I'm making a mistake, I'm in the gas station, right? Mm-hmm. So a policeman, I say, let me go buy, since I'm in the gas station, let me go buy something to drink, because I'm really thirsty. Policeman walked over and said to me that I made a wrong turn. I said to him, what are you talking about? He said, there's a sign that said, do not enter. So I explained to him that, sir, I'm didn't come to Jamaica for a little while, and I saw this sign said, do not enter. So I thought, probably I was going the wrong way. Showed him a New York license. The chap still gave me a ticket. But anyhow, I don't know, but police seem to target fear, fear people are made just honestly go over. I got the next ticket again. I think I was going like 5 to 10 miles over, kilometer now, like 10. The cop said I was going 10 kilometers over the speed limit, and I got a ticket for that. This was up in St. Bess. I was surprised. But anyhow, what I kind of follow, let me ask you something, Dervan. When the Prime Minister traveling abroad and having these events, they know, by the way, do they know you is the diaspora person at the station? Are you, your program, have a lot of diaspora stuff on there, like the diaspora Saturday morning show? Do they know of it, or like the minister?
Oh yes.
Do they know of this program?
They've always been quite gracious about their acknowledgement of the program, okay, and the featuring of Jamaicans in the diaspora.
Okay, well, because I was here, I heard TT was saying to you that the Prime Minister is in Washington, and you did not know about it, and they're gonna have a Let's Connect, and I think to use tomorrow evening. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have less online program Let's Connect. So I'm just figuring how come you didn't know about it, you know?
I usually eventually learn about everything or know about one way or another. I get the information.
Yeah, but to me, when the Prime Minister, especially coming in the diaspora, they should inform your station, especially you, and so that you can broadcast it so more people can know about it. You don't think that would be a good thing to do?
Well, that was done in 2016, actually. In 2016, the Office of the Prime Minister requested the program broadcast from a town hall meeting in, where was this now? This was in New York, I believe.
I think I remember that one. But what I'm saying, even if you're not going to broadcast it live, you could literally announce it at your station that they're going to be on Let's Connect. So more people, like I said, sometimes I go on these meetings, I see 1,000, and basically those 1,000, maybe half of those people knows someone directly that hosted the meeting, so they know the prime minister. I think the ambassador to the US is going to be on there too. But chances are a lot of these people know each other. You don't get a wide audience. And one of the reasons I think is that no one knows about these things.
Yeah, well, we can always do more in terms of sensitizing the general public, but in this age of multiple devices and different platforms and apps and so many different ways to receive information at home and abroad. So a lot of people are competing for the eyes, ears, and lips of the general public.
Yeah, well, I just think as you're the diaspora person, I think it would be a wonderful thing for them to update, get an update straight from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or whoever it is, so that you can inform the public. Also, by the way, the consulate in New York, General Consulate, is moving from 3rd Avenue. I saw it in the paper.
Yeah, I was advised of that some months ago. I was advised of that some time ago.
Okay, so maybe you could announce it, because people tends to go where they know the consulate is. Yeah. So maybe you could announce it now and again. I think they moved in February, so a little while off. So I don't know if you can announce it on your program.
I'll be more than happy to do that. Yes.
Right. So I think these are the things that I think is very important. And by the way, Dervan, before I go, one thing I find with our young people is that they don't seem to have no. They don't have no, what you call it. It seems like they don't care. And it's not unique to Jamaica, by the way.
And it's not all of them either.
Yeah, and not all of them, but I think it's
too many of them.
Too many of them. They don't have no care for civics. They don't care about politics. They don't care about what's happening in the country. And I think that's a very bad thing, man.
Could it be the fault of our parents and perhaps their parents before? Could that be a part of it?
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I think as I said, the media, what you call it, the access to different media that is competing for each outfit, that's competing for every audience, have a lot to do with this, and it tends to gravitate to things that has nothing to do with Jamaica or even can help them. So they tend to gravitate to the TikTok, to the WhatsApp, what's the YouTube video that has nothing to what you call it, no substance. But I think if we're going to change the country, we need, because the politics we get is basically, it's a reflection on us. Our quality politician is a reflection of what we demand. And if young people, especially young people, are not demanding better, everyone, but especially younger people, and vote and go out and vote, I think we're in trouble.
All right, I see a message here. Before, remember what you're going to say. I just saw a message here from Randy Williams on Facebook Live. He says, if Voice of New York follow Audrey Marks, he'll see all this info.
No, I know. I got the info. Audrey Marks is the ambassador for Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
No, I got it. I was just saying it would be important if you were announcing it on your station, so more people could hear about it. Yeah. You get me?
Got you.
So more people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I got it. It's gonna be 6 o'clock tomorrow. One other quick thing, Dervan.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. We all know Jamaica cannot. We know Jamaica cannot. Accept our manage a very large influx of Asian coming to Jamaica. I don't think that would probably happen. Okay, we all know that, but that's not happened yet. I don't think that will ever happen. Right, but for us to be treating these Asians who are fleeing because of hardship or whatever circumstances,
violence,
for retreating that violence, kidnapping, all that stuff. For us to be treating these people that way, and so much Jamaican migrate to right in America. There's so many Jamaican who are here not know it's not we don't know paper. So much. So I don't get it, man. Let's treat these people fairly. If they have to go back, fine. But as the lawyer they was saying, let's treat them fairly. Find out, do they really need to get asylum? And if they do, why not?
Yes.
So our brothers and sisters, man.
We hear you loud and clear. I'm gonna have to leave it here.
And then, Dervan, yeah, cool.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Beaches are nice, much nicer than ice.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on 7:15 to 9 a.m. and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they all as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM, weekdays 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
The beaches are nice, much nicer than ice. The rum is still fine, and so is the wine. So run and come to see your son. It's Christmas Day.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4h16. Science, TDN le. Su dien Shi Liao Fen. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. To the phone lines now, once again, 876-922-4112-5. We're going to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Did we lose that call? Let's see what happened here. Let's go back up. Let's see what happened here. Right. All right, so there's one line still engaged. Let's hear who's there. I'm seeing the number as well. All right, so let's go. Here we go. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Oh, hold on. Hold on. All right, the person who's trying to call us on the 365-3346 number, you're not going to get through because someone else is already on that line. Someone else is already on that line. If you're calling us on the 876-365-3346 number, somebody's on that line already, but somebody else is trying to get on. Or is it this is the person who's on? Let's see. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I was listening to, your call a minute ago, Voice of New York, and he was concerned that the younger generation is not really interested about politics and interested to vote. And so what really you think is the reason for that, Dervan?
Well, people have been losing hope for a long time now. Hope is a powerful thing. Keeping hopes alive and all that kind of thing. But when you buck upon, to use a Jamaican expression, when you buck upon fatigue, that state of being in which, gosh, I've heard this before. This is the same problem that we've had before. This is not working out, etc. Once people get into that sense of malaise and a sense of we've been there, done that, it then makes the environment toxic to the point where nobody wants to associate with it because of how matters are treated within that sphere. That's part of it. So you have a thing that is called apathy, which is one of the reasons. I mean, people have enough and they would rather not have any more, and they would rather take no further part in national affairs. So that's a big part of it.
Dervan, I think it's deception and we the elder. Take for instance the politician not telling the younger kids them the truth, you know, because
what's the truth? What's the truth? The truth about what?
The truth. The truth about politics. I'm alluding to this. A week ago, I was in a storming conversation with two young person, one 18-year-old and the other 22. And they were saying that the Porsche seems square after the rebuilding and that FTA fly over. Them really don't know who really bring that flyover, and I'm talking the overhead going to Agley Park, to Marcus Garvey Drive and Mandela Highway, right at the push things. One is saying that it is Porsche things government bill it, and one is saying that is Andrew Holness government. I personally was trying to say something, and I have to take a back seat because the two of them are wild. So Dervan, you could put out some information on that flyover, please.
Yeah, well, all of that information, you can Google that. But what I do know is that there was a development, a scheduled development of Hagley Park Road and running right into 3 miles. And that road widening exercise started under the then transport minister, what's his name? Transport Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, and the work stopped, I believe, at the intersection with Waltham Park Road at that point, and until what you see there as the finished product was eventually completed. So it has cut across administrations.
What I was trying to tell them, the Van, is that the work was the flyover was partially erected in the Portia Simpson government, but it never finished. And then when Andrew Holness win the election in 2016, them finish it and open it. That is just that I was saying, And but the two of them was at Loggerhead CMA. So that's the problem with the younger generation.
And who do you think? But how did you think they became that way? Remember, the children live what they learn. Children live what they learn.
Yes, the Van, and about a week ago, there was this argument between two politicians in Mandeville. I won't call the name, but the one was on the other side saying if them build drainage in some part of Mandeville, and the next one I say who is the mayor saying that is his government. These are the things, that is messing up the young people mind. The politician, them is not speaking the truth, and Dervan, we need to clean up our act and make the young people them feel at ease and just accept anyone they feel like vote for. Isn't that the right way, Dervan?
Yeah, people are free to vote for whomever they want to vote for, and people are also free not to vote if they don't want to vote.
Yeah. So, Dervan, I must give thanks for you having me spoken to there. Okay.
Thank you for the call.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. This message says, Mr. Malcolm, that wood workshop is no longer, it's burned out. Yeah, but there's still some kind of work happening there in the corner there. Some kind of work. That house is where we used to watch TV, actually. I think I've mentioned it before on this program, that the owners of that house right on the corner of Oakland Road, right? As you enter Oakland Road, coming from Waltham Park Road, it's right around the corner there. And the owners of that house at the time would open their front door so that those of us who didn't have TV could watch. So we would watch the TV from the fence on Oakland Road. We would be watching what was happening on TV at the time. Right. Calvin Lake, thank you very much for your message. See if we can clear a few more quickly. This one says, afternoon to you, sir. I almost agree with your caller just now. The persons that are in the position to assist you in getting justice are the most corrupt, and I have had my fair share of personal encounters with them. And if you have that kind of encounter and you have that kind of information, why not do something about it? Why not take action? Why not take action? Remember the power of one. I keep talking about the power of one. A lot of the changes that have happened in this country and in this region and in this world have been a function of the power of one. One person making a difference. The family court system needs to be rooted up. The clerk need to go to a different court at least every 2 years, because when their brother, sister, man or side man is up for child support, they lose documents or they bring exhausting waits to bring frustration. And there is a new system where if you don't turn up for court on the first, all right, let's come back to that in a moment.
The beaches are nice.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Hello there. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities, JCPD, this year celebrates Disabilities Awareness under the theme Inclusion in Action, Building Accessible Communities from December 3 to 8, 2023. Come and join the celebrations as you play your part to ensure persons with disabilities are included equally and equitably in society. Let's work together to build inclusive communities for all. A message from the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5h moins 29. 现在几点了？5点。12:09. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, to finish reading this message now, where if you don't turn up for court on the first court day, the matter is struck out. You can just imagine the frustration, and that's why we have so many delinquent fathers, and this contributes to 200% of the crime rate. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. Thank you for the call, for the message. Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada, says, while you're discussing the subject of safety, can you also raise the matter of the Gleaner editorial of today discussing earthquake safety? I believe the two are related. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. McDonald, for further raising the subject. This one from Rudolph in Stony Hill. He says, Mr. Malcolm, good day. I want to know why this human rights lady just so concerned about the Haitians that came here illegally. She wants them to stay here. Why not concerned about Jamaicans who are homeless and live on the streets? Haitians, not to be trusted, is the third set coming here. We know about the guns for drugs trade. Well, as we have mentioned before on this program, people deserve the right to representation. And people have a right to be heard as far as this matter is concerned, whether based on international law or established norms. They too deserve a voice. Now, we can always debate how and wherefore and so on and so forth. But the first thing we want to demonstrate is that we do have a sense of humanity and a level of empathy based on the situations that the Haitian people have had to undergo. It seems like forever now, for a very long time. But it's just a matter of time, one way or another. One way or another. Thank you very much for your message, Rudolph in Stony Hill. Here is another. The ticket is for breaking the rules, regardless of foreign status. Good job, police. If the police let him off, he'd say, licky, licky, police. However, when the police do their job, it's a problem. That's in reference to Voice of New York earlier on. And this person says, Dervan, until we in Jamaica are willing to put police, politicians, private sector, men, and pastors in prison, Jamaica will never prosper. I think we read that already. And also, Jamaica is one of the safest countries in the world, he says. Is this Christmas gift or is it a samphire? What's this? FTOM, bro, brother Anansi. Okay. All right. Thank you for your message. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, good afternoon, Dervan. Dervan, I remember Dr. Lucian Jones, how he was clamoring for the new road code laws to be in place. The new road laws do not make any difference. I think that what Dr. Jones needs to clamor for is enforcement. The only thing that is happening since the new law is police making more money out there. People are dying on the roads just the same. Salah from Kingston. Well, one would need to examine the data a little closer to be able to speak definitively as to the impact or lack thereof of the new Road Traffic Act. Let's see. And this person was trying to get back to us, but I think he's trying again based on what we're seeing here on WhatsApp. He's typing. All right. Hubert Fowlin, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you. And I think we read this one already from Jones in Portmore. All right, hold on. I'm looking at it from the view of a politician where a group of citizens complaining about clogged drains while throwing their garbage anywhere. It's a simple example, but I think it can be applied in other cases where we cause the problems and are looking for a fix. Anansi's story, safest place for everyone except the common folk. All right. That's the information that has been dispatched to us, and we've read it the best we can. Thank you very much for your many messages. Keep them coming. This looks like a voice note. This came in today. We haven't been able to listen to it off air. So we'll have to see if that's going to be possible for the rest of the program. In the meantime, we're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And so Mr. McDonald wants us to bring up this matter which was published in the Gleaner today, the editorial, Earthquake Preparedness, and it's taking a while to open. It's coming. It's taking a while, Mr. McDonald. Hold on, it's coming. Taking a while to upload. Right, so the editorial of today's Gleaner, Earthquake Preparedness. And it starts off by saying, should anyone have forgotten, there have been plenty of recent reminders that Jamaica, in common with the rest of the Caribbean, resides in an earthquake neighborhood. But the country, it seems, remains largely complacent about it. There has been no obviously special effort over the past month, despite the prompts to advance earthquake awareness to mobilize Jamaicans without frightening them for what experts say will be the inevitable big event. The situation requires that the Jamaican authorities, especially the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, urgently review their earthquake education and preparedness strategy. As is widely known, and as Chanel Dwyer of the National Commission on Science and Technology reminded us in her article in this newspaper on Sunday, the Caribbean exists on an especially troublesome bit of tectonic plate. The Caribbean plate on which the region sits is a minor plate bordering the major North American and South American plates, and in the area is riddled with faults, which causes the region to be susceptible to seismic activity, as the minor plate upon which it resides is squeezed between the two big ones. With respect to Jamaica, it and Hispaniola, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic are in the relatively unique geographic position of straddling the Caribbean plate and another minor plate. The Gonaive microplate, one of the four microplates that are subject to buffeting and pressures of the North American and South American plates. Or, as Dwyer explained it, the shear of the North American plate sliding to the west and our inability to get past it has produced mounting tectonic stress in our respective geological provinces. Luckily for Jamaica, these tectonic stresses have not, for more than 100 years, not since the estimated 9.5 magnitude event of 1907 that killed more than 1,000 people, produced the giant earthquake for which geologists have for decades warned Jamaica to be prepared. Unlike with, say, weather forecasting, the science around earthquakes is not where scientists can definitively predict when an activity deep within Earth's core will happen, resulting in a massive tremor. In other words, people do not get the warnings they expect when storms approach. You prepare for earthquakes by knowing what to do when they occur. and by designing buildings and infrastructure to make them as resilient as possible to violent movement. And while this is not pure science based on precise data, this newspaper would add that you pay attention to events. Regarding the latter, Jamaica, given recent developments, has no basis for complaint. In 2020 and 2021, a pair of earthquakes in the sea off the island measured over 7 on the Richter scale, but they did not cause the level of apprehension of the 5.6 magnitude tremor that occurred on land south of the town of Buff Bay in northeastern Jamaica on October 30. The quake caused relatively little damage and no injuries. Panicked people, however, rushed from buildings. Surprisingly, it took the ODPEM, the Agency of Disaster Management Professionals, more than 5 hours to directly address Jamaicans about the earthquake.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays.
If you don't sit down
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Our attention has been directed by Mr. Franklin McDonald on the subject of earthquakes in Jamaica. We are going to just pick up that point in the editorial. It left the public statements to the political executive, who the agency implied it was too busy briefing to talk to the public. On that same day, Jamaica recorded 3 other earthquakes, the strongest of which was 4.1. This was followed by a 4.2 magnitude event on November 28. However, it is not only Jamaica in this neighborhood that has been feeling the stresses from active tectonic plates. There have been several events in the Eastern Caribbean, including a series of earthquakes on Saturday in the vicinity of the islands of Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, and Guadeloupe in the Leeward Islands chain, as well as around St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, and Grenada in the Windward group. The 6 quakes ranged in magnitude from 3.6 in the Windward cluster to 6 in Guadeloupe. Wherever you are in the Caribbean, last weekend's cluster of events and the fact of several other notable quakes ought to be sufficient to concentrate minds. Perhaps much more is happening than meets the eye, but from the perspective of this newspaper, there has not been from the ODPEM since the October 30 event any robust public education campaign around earthquake preparation and responses as would be expected. There is no sense or urgency, or should that have been of urgency, sense of urgency. Neither has there been any signal of an engineering assessment of the island's buildings, especially of the new mid and high-rise structures approved in recent year, and the government increased density levels for new construction. Unfortunately, as has emerged in a few court cases and investigations by the anti-corruption agencies, regulators were not always robust in ensuring that developers followed the rules. Further, while the current building law was passed only in 2018, it would also make sense to review it to determine whether it remains fit for purpose, given that in the face of the new density rules, developers are building higher than in the past. And that looks like it. So that's the editorial, and we can share it and read it, the editorial in today's Gleaner. All right, over to the authorities and obviously the people, all of us. Now that we have the information, now that we've had the experience, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? All right, let's clear some more messages. Thanks again, Mr. McDonald, Franklin McDonald, for bringing that editorial to our attention. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, Mr. Malcolm, it burns out twice and gentleman could not survive this one. So I guess if he could not survive this loss so close behind each other, the owner passed off not long after the last fire. Maybe if he was a racehorse trainer instead of doing woodwork, the government would have jumped in and helped him. I'm not sure what this is about. All right, thank you, Spider, for your message. Jones from Portmore says, I think if we go about our day thinking and doing things to be in service of our fellow citizens, we would be heading in the right direction to prosperity. Calvin has shared a TikTok video, and Patrick Howell has quite a bit to say. Let's see. He's saying, what happened to millions of dollars collected by the Bill Clinton Foundation for the Haitians, the Bill Clinton Foundation for the Haitians after their worst earthquake? The Haitians' crisis is just historical and political. Whosoever is saying that Jamaica is a safe place to live, they need their heads examined. please check the crime statistics. I am aware that there are thousands of pensioners from England living in Florida, afraid of the crime in Jamaica. Thank you for your message, Patrick Howell. And on the text line, Ms. Joyce, as the caller, the senior citizen who is seeking some assistance, saying, "Hi, Dervan, a very pleasant day. This is Miss Joyce, the lady who the gentleman from the USA had promised to send some cash. I am still hoping he will remember me. It would bring more joy to my Christmas. Thank you very much, Dervan. God bless you." Bless you too, Miss Joyce. I think that was the caller or the listener who calls himself Jamaica Love. I think he's the one. Jamaica Love. And someone is showing us once again 60 Milton Avenue, Duhaney Park, Kingston 20. Mr. Malcolm, nobody requires a building permit anymore. So they dumped their sand, gravel, garbage, old tiles and vehicles, appealing to Audley Gordon, NSWMA, to intervene and arrest using the anti-litter laws, illegal dumping, unlawful trespassing. Please, justice. If this was Beverly Hills, would this exist? Good, Dervan, do you know what became of the boat they used to come here? Think the government should action the boats, or you mean auction? Okay. Here is a follow-up from Patrick Howell. The Haitian crisis has its roots from the French treatment of these people. I agree with Jamaica helping the most vulnerable, but we cannot open the floodgates or we will sink. The lawyer seems not to see the danger in the long term. Jamaica is already riddled with corruption, crime, street people without home, and poor living standards. So we can't provide much help, says Patrick Howell. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 5th of December, 2023. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
We don't have no snow, we don't have no sleigh, but fun we do have at Christmas Day. So run and come to see your son. It's Christmas Day. Snow and sleep you'll never meet at Christmas Day. The beaches are nice, much nicer than ice. The rum is still fine, and so is the wine. So run and come to see your son. It's Christmas Day. Snow and sleep you'll never meet at Christmas Day. So from one and all. Let's have a ball. Jamaica, you see, at Christmas of free. So run and come to see and song. It's Christmas Day. No one sleep, you never meet at Christmas Day. Run and come to see and song. No one